ब्रह्मनाथ ओ शांति 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 स्वस्थ।
Hello students, in the previous class we discussed about the biotechnology introduction portion. First we discussed, in which we discussed that the biotechnology means we can say it is a technological employment of the microorganisms, plants, animal cells, their biological process, okay, to get a desired product which is useful for the human beings, or we can say which is useful for the human welfare. Next we discussed that the biology means the biology consists of two core techniques. One is your genetic engineering, second one is your chemical engineering. Next we discussed, or we discussed just the terms of the various tools of the, we can say, biotechnology, enzymes, cloning, vector, etc. Next we discussed completely how the means the complete of the means detail of the enzymes we discussed. First we discussed the exonuclease, then we discussed the endonuclease, and lastly we discussed the restriction endonuclease. Exonuclease simply cut, or we can say cut the DNA or the nucleotide at the terminal end, whereas the endonuclease cut the DNA within the DNA, we can say, or remove some sort of sequence of the nucleotide within the DNA. And the restriction endonuclease always it removes a particular sequence, or we can say cut a particular sequence of nucleotide. Okay. Further we discussed there are about 100 types of, we can say, means the named of the restriction endonuclease are present. Then we discussed how the naming of the restriction endonuclease is being done, and lastly we discussed about the, we can say, the synthesizing enzymes. Today we'll discuss our new topic, that is called the cloning vector. It is also one of your important tools of the biotechnology. In the previous class we discussed the enzymes, okay, completely we discussed the endonuclease, the exonuclease and the restriction endonuclease. So what do you mean by cloning vector or the vehicle DNA? You just think, vehicle DNA means what? Vehicle. We have a vehicle, means suppose I have a bike, you have a cycle, or we can say you have a scooty, or you have also bike. Means that vehicle helps us to go from one place to another, or simply if we will say, it helps to carry us to a particular place. Okay, so exactly that way the cloning vector are the DNA. These are nothing but the DNA. Okay, cloning vector are nothing but the DNA which helps to carry the foreign DNA fragment into the host body and help and which is able to replicate inside the host body. Okay, your first point is cloning vectors are the vehicle DNA which helps to carry the foreign DNA fragments into the host body where it is able to replicate and we can say and able to replicate inside the host body. Okay, simply if we will say Suppose this one is your vehicle DNA. Okay, this one is your, we can say, the foreign DNA. Okay, this one is your, we can say, the foreign DNA. This one is your vehicle DNA or the cloning vector. Suppose this one is your host. Okay, so the vehicle DNA, or we can say that this is the cloning vector, or we can say this is a cloning vector, or this one is your, we can say, the cloning vector. The cloning vector are nothing but the vehicle DNA which helps to carry the foreign DNA into the host in which it can replicate. It can replicate. Okay. So second point is, we can write it is also called as, we can say, as carrier of DNA. Examples are plasmid, YAC, BAC, cosmid, etc. Plasmid, don't worry, we'll discuss all the points. Plasmid, YAC, BAC, cosmid, etc. We'll in detail we'll read all the things, don't worry. Okay. Next is your various characters of cloning vector. What are the various characters? First, common point you tell. First, general common point is it should be a DNA. It should be a DNA. First point, it should be a DNA. Okay. Next point, it should have a origin of replication site or ORI site. It should have an origin of replication, or we can say the ORI site. Means this is the site where the replication takes place. So the second most important characters of the cloning vector is it should have an ORA site, or we can say the origin of the replication site where the replication process can be continued. Next point, it should have a selectable marker gene for screening. What is selectable marker gene? It is an element which is helpful for the maintenance of the cloning vector. Okay, it is the, we can say, your third point, it should have a selectable marker. It should have, simply we will write, it should have selectable marker gene for screening. Means the selectable marker gene is should be present inside the cloning vector, because it is the gene which is responsible for the maintenance of the cloning vector. Okay, inside the cell. Last point, it should have a cloning site where the foreign DNA can be incorporated. Means, as I said here, suppose this is your DNA, suppose this is your general DNA and this is your, we can say, the fragmented or the foreign DNA. So understand, suppose we cut by the help of the restriction endonuclease a particular sequence. Okay, so this is your now the vehicle DNA. So it should have, we can say, the cloning site, or we can say it should have the cloning site where the foreign DNA can be incorporated, by which it can be transferred into the host cell to able to replicate. Okay, so your third point is it should have a cloning site where the foreign DNA fragment can be incorporated. Okay, so simply always remember, this is one of your important 2.5 short notes. Okay, important 2.5 short notes, cloning vector of the vehicle DNA. So simply we discussed cloning vector means we can say it acts as a vehicle of the DNA, means such as I am coming to the school or going anywhere, or you are going to the market, anywhere you go, you also go to the school by the help of the cycle, or we can say by the help of the bike or scooty or etc. So it acts as a vehicle which helps to carry the DNA, means such as our bike helps us to carry us, simply in that manner it helps to carry the DNA, okay, into the host body where it is able to replicate. So we discussed that the cloning vectors are the vehicle DNA which help to carry the foreign DNA fragments into the host body and able to replicate inside the host body. This is the vehicle DNA, this is the foreign DNA or cloning vectors, the foreign DNA and vehicle DNA or the cloning vector which helps to carry the DNA into the, we can say, into the host body. It is also called as the carrier of DNA. Example are plasmid, YSC, BSC, cosmid, etc. Characters are, it should be a DNA first it should be a DNA. Second, it should have an origin of replication site, or we can say the ORI site, where the replication can be done. Next, it should have the selectable marker gene for the screening. It is a gene which is responsible for the maintenance of the cloning vectors inside the cell. Next, it should have a cloning site. It should have a cloning site where the foreign DNA fragments can be incorporated. Okay. So now we discussed about the cloning vector or the vehicle DNA, which is an important tools of the, we can say, the genetic engineering, or we can say also it is also one of the important tools of the biotechnology. Okay, please note down. Next we'll discuss our first, we can say, the cloning vector, that is your plasmid. So what is plasmid? Simply plasmid, it is a small circular extra chromosomal DNA, extra chromosomal double stranded DNA, okay, double stranded DNA which is able to autonomous continuously or autonomously replicate. So we can write plasmid is a small circular extra chromosomal DNA, chromosomal double stranded DNA, which autonomously replicate, okay, means suppose this one is your bacteria, this one is your, we can say, the normal DNA, the chromosomal DNA. Besides that, this is not the plasmid DNA or the, we can say, the circular DNA. Besides that, a small circular double stranded DNA is present, which is able to autonomously, it will replicate. Okay, means automatically it have the capability to replicate. Okay, so this one is your bacteria. Suppose this one is your chromosomal DNA, this one is your plasmid. Okay, circular double stranded extra chromosomal DNA. Okay, it is basically present in yeast and bacteria. It is present in yeast and bacteria. Okay. Third point. In natural way, we can say, in the natural means the plasmid, it is not in natural, the plasmid is not taken for the genetic engineering. for the genetic engineering, the plasmid which is produced by in the laboratory or prepared in the laboratory, they are only used in the genetic engineering. The naturally produced plasmid are not taken in the genetic engineering. Instead, the plasmid which are prepared in the laboratory are being taken for the genetic engineering. Plasmid which are prepared, or we can say the synthetic, plasmid prepared in laboratory are used in the genetic engineering. Okay. So first point is your plasmid. It is a small circular extrachromosomal double stranded DNA which autonomously replicate. Okay, it means it is the extrachromosomal DNA. This is the chromosomal DNA, this is the extrachromosomal DNA. Next point, it is present in yeast and bacteria both. Okay, but the naturally producing plasmid are not taken in the genetic engineering. Instead, the plasmid which are prepared in the laboratory, they are only taken in the, we can say, in the genetic engineering. Next come to some extra characters of plasmid. First point, it should be non-conjugative. Means what? Conjugation, you know, conjugation means what? The DNA is transferred from one bacteria to another. You know, in the botany, suppose this is a DNA bacteria, this is another bacteria. This is your conjugation path. The DNA, when is transferred to another, means from one bacteria to another bacteria, this is called a conjugation. But in the case of the plasmid, the first point is it should be non-conjugative. It should be non-conjugative. Means what? It should be restricted to one bacteria. You can also write should be non-conjugative, means we can say it should be restricted to only one bacteria. Okay, it should not be transformed from one bacteria to another. It should be restricted to one bacteria. It should not be, we can say it should be non-conjugative. Next point, it should have the ability to easily to replicate into many numbers, or we can say many copy of the numbers. It should have the ability to easily replicate into many copy numbers. Okay, mean it should have, obviously it is autonomously replication. It is the plasmid autonomously it replicate, means it should have the extra points, we can say the main characters have, it should have the ability to easily replicate into many copy numbers. Third point, it should have the ability to copy a gene around 5 to 10 kilo base pair. One base pair is, kilo base pair means 1000 base pair. It should have the ability, to copy gene around 5 to 10 kilo base pair. 1 kilo base pair is equal to 1000 base pair. Okay, So it should have the ability to copy gene having around 5 to 10 kilo base pairs. Okay. So these are your some general points. In the plasmid, it is a small circular extra chromosomal double stranded DNA which autonomously replicate. Then the natural, it is present in the yeast and the bacteria. Then the naturally produced the plasmid are not used in the genetic engineering. The plasmid, by using the same technique as it is prepared in the laboratory, that is, or we can say the artificial or the synthetic form of the plasmid are being used in the, we can say, the genetic engineering. Next, the extra characters, it should be non-conjugative, means it should be restricted to one bacteria. It should have the ability to easily replicate into many copy numbers. Next, it should have the ability to copy genes around 5 to 10 kilo base pair, or we can say 5,000 to 10,000 base pairs. Okay, so these are general points of the plasmid. Please note down. Now we will see the structure of the plasmid and how it is being named. So the first artificial cloning vector, which is known as your, we can say, the PBR322. PBR322 means the name came from the P for the plasmid, B for the Bolivar and R for the Rodriguez. The Bolivar and the Rodriguez are the name of the engineer, okay, who helped in the development of the PBR322. And the 322 is the number of relevant workers which worked out on this plasmid. Okay, so we can say the first artificial cloning vector, it is your, we can say, the PBR322. Okay, so general we will come to the structure of the plasmid. Okay, as we know, it is the, we can say, the small circular double stranded extra chromosomal DNA. First point. Second point, it should have an origin of replication site, means the ORI site where the replication can be takes place. Next, it have various restriction endonuclease site such as your ECO-R1, then the PVU1, PST1, then the BMH1, the CEL1. Okay, means these are various restriction endonuclease site where these restriction endonuclease will particularly remove the sequence. Okay. Apart that, what is more present? There are various antibiotic marker genes are present, such as the tetracycline resistance gene are present in this, the black portion, whereas the ampicillin resistance genes, which act as the antibiotic marker gene, is present in the red area. So, if this restriction endonuclease site will be help in removing a particular sequence having the gene called the tetracycline resistance gene. Because of the presence of the tetracycline resistance gene, it is resistant to the tetracycline. Because of the presence of the ampicillin resistance gene in the red portion, this is resistant for the ampicillin. But if due to this restriction endonuclease where it will remove a particular site sequence, then obviously that gene will be removed. If that tetracycline resistance gene will be removed, will it be further resistant to the tetracycline? No. Similarly, if PBU1 will help with removing a particular, we can say, a nucleotide sequence, then the gene which are present, such as your ampicillin resistance gene which are present here, will also be removed. Then will it be resistant further to the ampicillin? No. Okay, so that thing is nothing but your insertional inactivation. Insertional inactivation means the resistance is being lost, okay, by the help of the various restriction endonuclease site when they remove various nucleotide or particular sequence. As we know, restriction endonuclease means they will always remove the sequence of the nucleotide from a particular, or it removes a particular sequence. Okay, so if the portion are same, means fixed, suppose means these are the area of the BMH1, CEL1, then the PVU1 and the PST1. Okay, so whenever this restriction endonuclease are being inserted and it removes a particular sequence, then what happens? The gene is also removed and that area becomes means non-resistance for the tetracycline, or the, we can say, the ampicillin. This inactivation is known as your insertional inactivation. Means before it is resistance, but when a particular sequence is being removed or taken out, then what happens? It becomes non-resistance. Here it becomes a non-resistance to tetracycline, here it becomes to non-resistance to the ampicillin. Okay, so this is all about your, we can say, the complete structure of the plasmid. Okay, first it is the first artificial cloning vector known as your PBR322. Name came from Plasmid Bolivar Rodriguez, name of the engineer, and 322 means number of element workers which work out this plasmid, and it is the whole structure of the plasmid. It is also known as the PBR322, having around 4363 base pairs. Okay, then this one is your tetracycline resistance gene or antibiotic marker gene, and this one is your ampicillin resistance gene and the antibiotic marker gene, having the ORI site, having various restriction endonucleosides such as your EcoR1, PBU1, PST1, BMH1 and the SAL1. Okay, please note down. Next we will discuss some other vectors, okay, that we can say as the tools of the genetic engineering or the biotechnology. First we discuss the plasmid, in which we discuss the most common plasmid is your PBR322. Okay, and also we discuss the structure of the plasmid. Next we will discuss what are the other vectors that are also present besides the plasmid. Second one is your bacteriophage. The phage like DNA can also be used as a vector. So one question you will ask that sometimes generally the bacteriophage are the virulent in nature as it contains the viral DNA, but as in the case of the bacteriophage, means we can say phage like vector that is being used, means the bacteriophage which is used as a vector, as it contains or consists of another foreign DNA fragment, it make the virulent bacteriophage into avirulent, means its virulency is being, means we can say it means destroyed, the virulent is being destroyed, so it make the virulent bacteriophage into avirulent. So sometimes the phage like DNA or the bacteriophage can also use as a vector. Next, phasmids means what? Phage means we can say the bacteriophage simply, mids means we can say the plasmid. So it is a synthetic vector, means it is artificial, it is made in the laboratory. So the plasmid contains the fragments of the phage DNA. Obviously the plasmid contains the fragment of the phage DNA. Means as I said, means the phage and the mids, means plasmid and the bacteriophage. Okay, as in this case the plasmid contains the fragment of the phage DNA which is act as the vector. Next, the cosmid, cos plus plasmid. Cos means what? We can say the cohesive ends or the sticky ends that are produced from the, we can say, from the restriction endonuclease cut. We discussed that if the DNA is being cut unequally, then the cohesive end or the sticky ends are produced and other one is a blunt end. So in this case, cos plus plasmid means in the sticky ends, we can say the plasmid is being joined, or we can say, see, some features of the plasmid is joined with the cohesive site, end site, or the cos site of the phase lambda. Phase lambda means the kind of the bacteriophage. Okay, so cos means the cohesive end of the phase lambda, the plasmid is being joined. So that is why it is called the cosmid, means cos plus the plasmid. Cos means, another time I am saying, the cohesive end site or the cos site or the sticky ends which is generated by the cut of the restriction endonuclease. Next, two important vectors are present, that is the YAC vector and the BSC vector. These are basically used for studying the researching upon the human genomic sequence or human gene sequence. Okay, so YAC means, remember, yeast artificial chromosome vector. Okay, YAC, yeast artificial chromosome vector. Okay, similarly BSC means bacteria artificial chromosome vector. Okay, so in the case of the YAC, yeast artificial chromosome, mainly it will contains the telomeric sequence. Basically all other portions are similar there, means one, the origin of replication site is present, selectable marker genes are present, restriction endonuclease sites are also present, but besides that the telomeric sequence are present. Telomeric sequence means what? The termination end of the, we can say, the chromosome. Okay. So it is written, the yeast artificial chromosome contain the telomeric sequence, centromere, and obviously it is autonomously replicative, okay, sequence from the yeast chromosome. Besides that, as I said, the restriction endonuclease site and the selectable marker genes are obviously present. Next, the BAC or the bacterial artificial chromosome. In this, what happens? It is based on the fertility factor. You might know, or you have studied in the botany, that the bacteria which contains the fertility factor, we denote it as a F plus, which is like the fertility factor, we denote it as a F minus. So it is takes place in the case of the F plasmid, or we can say the fertility plasmid, so of the E. coli, okay, or the bacteria. Simply it contains the gene for the replication or the maintenance of the F factor. Obviously the selectable marker is also present, and also the cloning site. Obviously cloning site will be definitely present, otherwise how it will make the cloning? Okay, so cloning site is definitely present. So you can see here structure, obviously the EcoR5 or V, or we can say the BAMHI-H1. So these are various, the restriction endonuclease site are also present, also the antibiotic resistance is also present, the ORI sites are also, site is also present, but besides that F plasmid is also present, which is helpful for the maintenance of the F factor. Okay, so remember, in the YAC vector the telomeric sequence are present, and in the BAC vector the F plasmid is being present. Overall structure is same, but basic difference is the telomeric sequence is present in the YAC vector, the yeast artificial chromosome vector, and also in the case of the bacterial artificial chromosome vector, the F plasmid is present. Okay. Next, last one, animal and plant viruses. Means in some cases of the, we can say the animal, some plants or animal virus, these are also used as a vector, such as your common example, tobacco mosaic virus, adenovirus, retrovirus, papavirus, etc. Okay, so these are some other vectors other than the plasmid. Plasmid we discussed, the common is your PBR322. Next we discuss the bacteriophage. Sometimes the bacteriophage also act as a vector and the virulent nature is being destroyed as the foreign DNA is incorporated into the bacteriophage. Then the phage means we have said the bacteriophage plus the plasmid. Okay, when the plasmid containing the fragments of the phage DNA. Okay, means in the plasmid the fragments of phage DNA is being introduced or incorporated. Next, the cosmid, as I said, cos plus plasmid. Cos means the cohesive end of the phage lambda. Okay, in which the plasmid is being joined. So plasmid plus cos, or we can say cos plus plasmid, is called your cosmids. Next important, YAC vector and BAC vector. YAC vector means presence is your telomeric sequence, and in the BAC vector main present is based on the F fertility plasmid, or we can say presence of the fertility factor. Okay, and the last one is your animal and plant vector. Some plants and animal viruses are also used as a vector, such as your tobacco mosaic virus, adenovirus, retrovirus, papavirus, etc. Okay. So this is all about your, we can say, the various vectors. Please note down. Next we will discuss the third important tool, that is your passenger DNA or the foreign DNA. First we discuss the various enzymes, then we discuss the various types of vectors. Now we will discuss the passenger DNA or the foreign DNA. So what is the passenger DNA or the foreign DNA? We discussed that, suppose common example, we come by bike to our college, or we come to by our cycle to our college. So in that case the bike or the cycle carry us. Okay, means in that situation if we will take this, then that vehicle, the bike or the car, or we can say cycle, is your cloning vector, and we are the passenger or the foreign DNA. Understood clearly? So These are the foreign DNA which are inserted into the cloning vector, and these are incorporated into the host cell to replicate. So we can write these are the foreign DNA which are inserted into the cloning vector and then incorporated into host cell to replicate. Simple. Next, this passenger DNA, or we can say the foreign DNA, is divided into three types, or are of three types: complementary DNA, synthetic DNA, and the random DNA. So the complementary DNA. In the case of the complementary DNA, the desired gene is being, we can say, isolated from the mRNA by the help of the process called the reverse transcriptase, and the product is nothing but a complementary DNA. So we can write the desired gene is isolated from mRNA okay, by the process reverse transcriptase, and the product is the complementary DNA. Okay, so we know transcription means what? Synthesis of RNA from the DNA. Okay, means the protein synthesis takes place. Then the reverse transcriptase means what? Formation of DNA from the RNA. Okay, it is reverse from the DNA from the transcription means what? Formation of the RNA from the DNA. Reverse means what? Formation of DNA from the RNA. So it is called the reverse transcriptase. So eventually the desired gene is isolated from the mRNA. Okay, from the mRNA we get the complementary DNA, mRNA, by the process of the reverse transcriptase, and the product is simply called the complementary DNA. Next, the synthetic DNA. It is the, we can say, it is the desired gene is being isolated, or we can say the desired gene is being prepared by using, we can say, the computerized machine. By using the desired gene is prepared by using computerized machine. Okay, and it can form up to, we can say, it can form the gene up to around 1000 nucleotide sequences. It can form gene about 1000 nucleotide base pairs. Okay, it can form genes about 1000 nucleotide base pairs. If the amount of gene is not sufficient, okay, then we can go for the polymerase chain reaction. If the gene is not sufficient, sufficient, then polymerase chain reaction is used, in which numbers of copies of DNA or the genes can be produced. Lastly is your random DNA. In this, the desired gene is being isolated from the complete genome of the complete genomic DNA of the organism. The desired gene is isolated from the complete genomic DNA of an organism. Then the restriction endonuclease cut. Then the restriction endonuclease cut and the DNA fragments are arranged. And the DNA fragments are arranged by electrophoresis. Means it is a process in which the DNA is properly arranged according to its size. Electrophoresis, and then used for cloning, and then used for cloning. Okay. So this is the random DNA. So there are three types of passenger DNA or the foreign DNA. Passenger DNA means it is the we can say it is a foreign DNA which is inserted into the cloning vector and it is incorporated into the host, by which it replicates there. Three types of DNA: the passenger DNA, complementary DNA, synthetic DNA, and the random DNA. In the complementary DNA, the desired gene is being isolated from the mRNA by the process of reverse transcriptase, and the product is your complementary DNA. And in the synthetic DNA, the desired gene is prepared by using the computerized machine. It can form gene about 1000 nucleotide base pairs, and if the gene is not sufficient, then polymerase chain reaction is being used, in which more number of copies of DNA can be formed. Then the random DNA, this is the desired gene is isolated from the complete genomic DNA of an organism, in which next the desired gene is being isolated, then the restriction endonuclease cut, and the DNA fragments that are collected are being arranged by the electrophoresis, means it is arranged according to their size, and then they are used for the cloning. Okay. So now we discussed completely another tools of the biotechnology, or we can say the genetic engineering, that is your passenger DNA or the foreign DNA. Okay, please note down. Now we will discuss our last important tool of the biotechnology or the genetic engineering, that is a competent host. First we discuss the cloning vector, in which we discuss it is a vehicle DNA in which the fragment of DNA is being carried out into the host. So one of your important tool also is your competent host, and basically mostly the bacteria are used as the host. So the bacteria are mostly used as the host for the transformation of the recombinant DNA. Recombinant DNA means this is your, we can say, the vehicle DNA or the cloning vector. This is your, we can say, the foreign DNA. This is now the recombinant DNA, and this recombinant DNA is being transformed into the host where it replicates. So the basically bacteria are mostly used as the host for the transformation of the recombinant DNA. Next, some bacteria can receive the free DNA, not all. Some bacteria only can receive the free DNA, and that nature is called your competency. That is why it is written competent host. Okay, all bacteria cannot receive the free DNA. Also, some plants, animals, eukaryotic cells can also be used as a host. But basically, the E. coli is being the most suitable host. Okay, the most suitable host is your E. coli. So today we discussed first the cloning vector, in which we discussed it is the vehicle DNA in which the foreign or the passenger DNA is being transformed into the host and where they replicate. We discussed various type of cloning vector. Your plasmid we discussed, okay. Then we discussed the bacteriophage, the cosmid, the phagemid, etc. we discussed. Next we discussed the passenger DNA or the foreign DNA. In the foreign DNA we discussed the complemented DNA, the synthetic DNA and the random DNA. And lastly we discussed the competent host. Okay, means it is a host to which the recombinant DNA is being, we can say, transformed. So that's all for today. We will meet in our next class. Thank you.